Hi, this is one of the High Priests of Khonshu, Ray, from Into the Night, a Moon Knight podcast. We're proud members of the collective, and you're listening to one of the collective members, Capes and Lunatics Sidekicks podcast. Hope you enjoy.
Wendell Vaughn, the first Earthman ever appointed the protector of the universe, bonded to the energy-transforming quantum bands that were both weapons and symbols of his station, who fought an ongoing battle to defend all life in the universe from cosmic evil as Quasar.
Hello and welcome to the Quantum Zone, episode 17. This is the big one, in more ways than one. Quasar number 7. I am Bill. Gang's all here. Master of the Quantum Zone, Will.
I'm Will. I'm here. Hey.
And Matt.
Potion, your comic is in the mail. I'm here.
All right.
I'm glad you brought that up because I have to apologize. Soshin did leave us feedback, did leave us an iTunes review, but I read the wrong one. That wasn't his last week. So we actually do have two. So Matt,
awesome.
Matt, you're going to turn around soon. So.
All right, I'll do it.
But yeah, Soshin even corrected me. Since I read the wrong one, I guess I should read Soshin's actual feedback this time. Yes, because he even said, he's like, I'm not from Arkansas, or Quasar, Arkansas.
yeah, Indiana. Because I was like, all right, maybe you move.
It was Wolf RJ who left that feedback I read last week. Wolf RJ, please email us, capesandlunatics@gmail.com. Send us your mailing address so Matt can make another run to the post office.
Yeah, it's not bad. There's a 24-hour post office here in Boston, and it's on my way home from work. So
that must be
awesome. Make it happen.
All right, so here, yes, Quasar for life. That's Soshin. See, he mentions Captain America 217 too. I think that's why I got confused. But he also left 5 stars. So Matt, we're good.
All right,
okay, cool. I'm not gonna mail it in a plastic bag with the nail
staple
through it. Yeah, staple. Yeah.
But he wrote, I absolutely love the podcast. The Marvel superhero Quasar had such a great storyline, and this podcast goes into detail examining each appearance in the Marvel universe, starting with his first in Captain America 217. No, we didn't do that, but maybe we will. Each of the 3 podcasters have a great passion for the Cosmic Avenger, which shows in each taping. I highly recommend anyone likes Wendell Vaughn Quasar to check out these podcasts to gain a deeper respect and appreciation for the latest protector of the universe.
Awesome.
Right,
so yeah, we love oh yes, we love it when you praise us.
Yes. And Quasar. It's a win-win.
Oh, true. Yeah. And on the social media front, did you gentlemen see I did actually post today about directed it right at Marvel, say, hey, we need more Quasar merchandise.
Yeah, I'm behind you on the campaign. Oh yeah.
I'm there with you. I want posters. I want omnibuy. I'm not sure. Omnibuy. Yeah, I want omnibuy. I want
t-shirts. I want more toys. I want a Funko.
Yes, that would be awesome.
Oh,
but of course, my other co-host Lil Hellfire and to play Negative Nancy and be like, they're not making any more merchandise unless he's like in the next movie or something.
Yeah,
that's fine. Put him in a movie.
Yeah,
yes,
exactly.
So there is. I was at the comic book store last week, and I didn't get a look at it, but you can buy this like small box, and it has random superheroes in it, and Quasar is one of them. But it's $15, so I didn't want to spend like $15 to get the opportunity to get him. And there's like 120 different possibilities. So.
What kind of little box or what company? I mean, because hey,
I don't know. I'll go back and explain further when I get more information. But it was some. I think it involves some sort of a game, maybe a tabletop game or something.
Cool. I had no clue that there was the potential for another Quasar figure. I must have it. I must have it.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
All right. So should we jump into this issue?
Sounds good to me.
Episode 17 and the 7th issue. So we've done 10 non-Quasar issues.
Well, but I know.
The
Avengers issue was pretty much a Quasar issue, Acts of Vengeance and all. Speaking of Acts of Vengeance, this issue.
Oh yeah.
not that it's labeled as such.
Exactly.
Yeah. Also, not that Quasar got any love in Act, because I looked up the Acts of Vengeance, what's it called? Reading order online, and they left out every Quasar. I mean, they also left out Punisher, Doctor Strange, and a few others, but they mostly focused on the Avengers, and then I guess there's a couple X-Men, Wolverine.
Yeah, but it's like, how do you leave out Quasar? I mean, for no reason, he's an Avenger. It was an Avenger centric storyline.
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah. But anyway, issue 7, this is a good one. Don't let critics tell you otherwise. But the title gets right to the point, Terminus Rising.
And hey, this is where Mike Manley joins the team as penciler.
Yes.
Unfortunately, I think Paul Ryan moved on to, was it one of the 2099 books, I think?
Oh, maybe. Did he do that? What was it, Ravage?
Ravage? Maybe? I think it was Ravage 2099.
Because I was going to say, I think it was a little early, but eventually he went to Fantastic Four, didn't he?
Oh, yeah, that's right. He went over to Fantastic Four, and then he jumped over to DC DC like mid-90s, I think. Wasn't he doing Superman?
Yes, he did. I know he did do some Superman, yeah.
What about Darkhawk? Did he do that too? If you're like,
I think he did that before. Was that before Quasar?
I don't know. I didn't read much Darkhawk.
But Manley, I think Mike Manley did Darkhawk for quite a while. I think he was on like the first issue or something.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it's basically our regular team, Grunwald, Landy, Chang, Becton, Mackey, and our good old Tom DeFalco. And yeah, like you said, Mike Manley joined as the penciler.
A Pato Chief? I don't know what that means.
Is that like a dinosaur term?
I don't know. Oh, maybe. Yeah, there you go.
Because the issue opens in the Savage Land.
That's right. There we go.
And some
Apatosaurus. Yeah, there we go. We have an Apatosaurus in this issue. That's right.
And they wrecked Terminus armor that has stood empty for months, or so we're told.
Yes, from the Avengers, which is a really good issue with Hercules when they go to the Savage Land. Like 250 something, I think.
I do remember the Avengers battle, but there's also a footnote here about X-Men Annual 12. So the X-Men kicking the armor after the Avengers defeated Terminus.
I can't remember.
Because I don't know if I have that. I have a lot of X-Men, but I don't know if I have that issue.
Avengers 257, yeah. It was there that was defeated by your colleagues, the Avengers, back in Avengers 257. So, yes. Sorry, spoilers. We'll get there in a minute.
But anyway, Terminus's lance flares up. There's ointment for that. So, but it says it drops toward the waiting hand of its true master.
Nice.
And then meanwhile, 9,000 miles to the north.
There we go.
A man stands 3 feet outside a Manhattan office in a room containing a small quantity of subspace and the oldest living being on Earth. The man is Quasar. Maybe it's just a different artist, but I think that's like the most detailed we got in the Eon's little closet space there.
Yeah, exactly. So far. We're seeing it from kind of the Four Freedoms Plaza side, which is kind of cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Deep within the office space, Eon's
Eonverse.
Yeah.
Reed Richards is going to nail you, man, for all these unauthorized modifications. But
there may not be anything in the contract about subspace pockets. You never know.
No. But Quasar's asking Eon, do you think I'm making any headway going out and checking out all the resident extraterrestrials, or is there a better way for me to be doing this? And Eon's like, I've given you your mission. How you go about it's up to you, kid.
Darn it. He's just too nonchalant about all this stuff, and
Mr. Eon's so ancient and like has cosmic awareness. Quasar asks him, he's like, I think I've checked out about half the extraterrestrials on the list. And Eon could focus his cosmic awareness real quick on it, but instead he's like, no, I could summon your father.
Oh yeah, that was a low blow, Eon.
He's been keeping a logbook, right?
And Quasar's like, I won't be necessary. I can remember, can't you? If I focus my awareness, yes. I'm not going to focus for you.
Nice.
Yeah, that's a little braggadocious for Quasar. I can remember everyone I've met.
You're helping protect the universe and me, but I'm not going to give you the time of day because you're not your father.
Exactly.
And Quasar's thinking about how jealous he is and how stupid that is. Says, any idea what alien I should go after next? And even Eon says, there's one alien presence that has been puzzling me. It is extra-dimensional in origin. It manifests in one place for a while, then abruptly jumps elsewhere. Right now appears to be in the immediate vicinity. Quasar's like, why didn't you tell me? Beam me its energy signature and I'll get right on it. So Quasar jumps out of the closet and he's like, Eon is so nonchalant about everything. I've worked with him closely for months and I still have no sense if he likes me or if he thinks I'm the biggest owl he ever appointed protector of the universe.
Yeah.
He drops the foul up, a phrase that I've only heard in the censored versions of action movies.
I know, Quasar with the F-bomb.
Exactly.
But he says, I haven't made any major blunders yet, but I haven't contended with anything too universe-threatening either. He checks his quantum bands, and he says, wait, I'm almost right on top of the energy source, right around the corner, and then, whoa, Spider-Man. He's the extra-dimensional energy vessel. I thought he was just the wise guy with the proportionate strength of a spider. So he's like, so Mr. Nice, he's like, excuse me, Spider-Man? And Spider-Man's like, who? He's like, oh no, I remember you, that Joker with the light gadgets.
Yeah. And hey, what do we have here? We have an editor's note. Yes!
The two first met back in Marvel Team Up 113, or last episode.
Or last week, yes.
Which you can get for the low price of one iTunes review.
Yes.
Cha-ching.
I like the look of this Spider-Man, too. It's drawn really well.
Yeah, he does look cool.
Yeah.
Yes. Manley wasn't drawing any Spider-Man's books at the time, but I remember reading this. He didn't look like out of place, like, oh, that's like a different artist drawing that. And he looked like he could have came from one of those books at the time.
At that time, what was it, McFarlane doing it? Or was it Eric Larson, maybe?
No.
Eric Larson.
Yeah, I think McFarlane, I think, did most of the Acts of Vengeance issues. I don't know if he did the last one, but I think he did everyone except maybe the last one. I forget if they went to Larson at the last one.
Yeah, I was reading some of them. Larson was doing amazing. Someone else was doing the spectacular.
Sal Buscema. Yeah, Sal Buscema, probably.
And there was Web of Spider-Man. Yeah.
That was Alex
Saviuk, maybe?
Yeah, Saviuk was the penciler and Keith Williams the inker. Yeah, but yeah, Spider-Man's been having existential crises about his powers and all the issues I'm reading, you know.
Because he's like, I'm so strong now.
With the greatest power comes the greatest responsibility? Yeah, I don't know.
They help you beat Goliath in the hall.
Yeah.
Because he does mention that.
And he elects to swing on webs rather than flying because he just wants to stay humble.
Yeah.
That's right. Remember where you come from.
Keeping it real.
But Quasar's like, I want to ask you a few questions. And Spider-Man says, I'm really not in the mood. And Quasar says, I really must insist. There's something alien about you, Spider-Man and I. And what is that? It's supposed to be like a quantum stethoscope, like a big stethoscope?
Kind of looks that way, yeah.
That's
or a suction cup? I don't know, man.
Quasar's trying to play doctor, man. So, Spider-Man. So, of course, I think with the new powers, Spider Sense is always like going into overdrive. So he punches Quasar. Just go away! Wham!
Wham!
Wham! No exclamation point. He hadn't earned that yet.
Nice big panel in the middle of the page.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh my god, I did it again. I lashed out instinctively and forgot my incredibly enhanced spider strength. I nearly killed Goliath, the Hulk, now Quasar? And he knocks Quasar into a trash barge.
Yeah. Oh man. Bad news.
But Spider-Man goes and checks on him and says, hey, are you okay?
And he's upside down when he checks on him, but I'm pretty sure he's not clinging to anything, although he does have the spider, the webbing.
Yeah, he does look like he's hanging on to a web, unless that's just him showing off with his new powers. Because, it looks like they're in the middle of the river, so I don't know what he's hanging on to.
Yeah.
Just
the clean air.
Yeah, New York clean air. That's science fiction. All right. So Quasar says, no thanks to you now, if you don't mind, or if you do, and he puts him in another quantum trap. He says, I like to hold still long enough so I can scope out what's gotten into you, cooperate. And Spider-Man says, look, I don't want to hurt anybody, but I got better things to do tonight than play with patty cake with a misguided Buninsky. Such language in this issue.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And Spider-Man flexes and breaks out, and Quasar's like, he smashed it to smithereens. He's like, I designed that so he wouldn't have any leverage. His strength must be off the scale. Where'd he go so fast? And
funny he should ask that question.
Yes, Spider-Man dove into the East River. Talk about, he must have cosmic powers to survive that. And he lifts the barge. He said, are you listening, Quasar? I'm only going to tell you once. Something happened to me a few weeks back to make me the strongest man on Earth. See? To make me the strongest man on Earth, see? Yeah, see? I don't know what I did. What?
So that's the ticket?
Because I don't know what it is, but I intend to find out. I don't want help or hindrance from a glowing goofball like you. Well, see, Spider-Man wanted these powers gone from day one. What if Quasar could have helped him get rid of these powers?
Mm-hmm. He could have suctioned them out like he was trying to do.
Maybe. It's like, I know, if I can't help you, I know this giant floating head of lettuce that might be able to help you.
Yeah, exactly. And I like how they draw him there. That's actually, it looks like Captain Universe, when he's really flexing there.
Yes.
That's cool. Sorry, spoilers, everyone. That's the Enigma Force.
Yes, it is. Cause it is the Captain Universe power, but I don't know if it was something where something went wrong with the transfer, so he got all the powers, but none of the awareness. Because usually when people get the Captain Universe power, it fills them in.
They're like, yeah, you're supposed to go do this right now. Go.
Yes.
I like that they show the trash barge or they show the boat that the barge is attached to still hooked up to a line.
Yes.
The person driving that just has a look in the rear view. That doesn't normally go up like that and down.
Wow, this thing's a lot easier to pull all of a sudden. So Spider-Man's like, okay, are you getting me? I don't want to mess with anybody. And Quasar's like, I get you, so I'll stop hassling you. So Spider-Man drops the trash barge and takes off. Quasar's like, good luck. So they were talking and they were playing around with this trash barge. So, all right, I'm going to go for a Matt moment here. So I guess we could say the trash talk is over.
Nice.
Excellent work.
So Quasar flies home to Daddy. He was like, not one of my better nights. But at least I identified his energy signature. Should he go totally berserk at some point, I'll know about it. All right, let me ask you about this page. This page is very weird. He climbs in the window. He says, I want to go to bed. Hopefully Dad's asleep. I'm not in the mood to chat. So when he's going out the door, they show his hand up there. No quantum band, which, okay, maybe it's invisible. But then they show him in the bathroom, and, like, look, those last two panels, you can see the quantum band.
Uh-huh.
So what, he came home, turned it invisible, and then, I don't know. Yeah. And I'm like, it's just you and your dad there, and your dad knows you're Quasar, so why
would you make him invisible? Exactly.
Yeah.
I think you just spotted a mistake.
Ooh. Possible no prize?
I think there's a no prize, yes.
There's my no prize. Okay, he wanted to make him invisible, but he said he's tired, so maybe he was so tired he couldn't keep his concentration. And there
you go.
Yeah, or here's my possible explanation for it. When he came in, he was in casual mode, he's taking his clothes off, became invisible, and then when his dad interrupts him, because he can't see them in the bathroom, he says, locate any new aliens tonight. And then maybe they perked back up a little bit,
That's kind of awkward. So if anyone in the office mentions aliens, they're going to go visible. Yes.
You see that latest James Cameron movie? Hey, what's your bracelet? Where did that come from?
Yeah. But his dad's like, locate any new aliens tonight, and he says, yeah, just one, Spider-Man. His dad's like, wait, Spider-Man? Alien? Tell me more.
Ooh, juicy gossip.
And he's like, ask Eon about it, Dad. I really got to get to sleep. And then he's thinking about how his dad relates to Eon better than him. And I don't know, I guess that is kind of condescending, because everything we've seen about the dad so far, the dad seems like he doesn't have time for, the dad's never, like, interested in him until it's like, ooh, aliens. Oh, tell me more, son.
Yeah. I only love you for your aliens.
I only love you for your job.
Yeah.
So he says he has enough to lie awake about, like his presentation to the IDIC Corporation tomorrow. See, we got back there. And so then we flash forward to the next morning.
There we go.
Wendell Vaughn to see Mr. Kuramoto, and the receptionist or whoever is like, right this way, Mr. Vaughn. They are expecting you. He's like, they?
What?
And then once again, a big water issue. Back on the water, this time in the mid-Atlantic. Some old people are getting ready for a shuffleboard tournament, and that's when something comes popping out of the water. This is Terminus' Superman moment, because everyone's like, what is that, a whale? A submarine? Instead of a bird, it's a plane. No, is it a whale? It's a submarine?
It's so huge. Everyone off the deck.
And meanwhile, back in New York, Wendell's giving his presentation on page, 15, a schematic of the placement of the security cameras. Fascinating stuff for the computer room. And then we see a big flash. I'm sure no one else can, but holy, I'm getting an energy reading like none I've ever felt. Something really cosmic has appeared. Could it be the threat Eon appointed me to combat? And Wendell's buddy Ken is like, what's up with Vaughn? And Quasar Wendell once again has to rush off. Gentlemen, you must excuse me. The long hours I've put in on this presentation have apparently taken their toll on my health. Just read the portfolio and get back to me. It's self-explanatory.
I did such a good job. This is bad for me. So side with me.
I didn't eat or sleep for you people. What they don't show here is like 2 seconds after the door closes, like half the guys in the room are like, did he see? His secretary said he spends too much time at the racket club.
Exactly.
And then 2 minutes later, streaking out of Manhattan,
we get a nice sonic boom.
Yes, he says once he gets out over the water, he says he can really open up, so you get a nice sonic boom. Almost it's like a big as the panel, a little bigger. He says, but if it's a question of saving the world or making a living, there's no room for, there's not a lot of choice. So he does open up and he says, Eon, you read me? I'm checking out a big energy disruption about 500 miles out in the middle of the Atlantic. I have a feeling it's alien. So 5 minutes later.
That looks pretty alien to me.
I mean, Terminus like stepping over this cruise ship like it's like it's like a small dog or something.
Yeah. Whoa is right.
And again, with the foul mouth, Quasar's like, good grief, the size of this thing. He's like, who is he? Where did he come from all of a sudden? And he's like, Eon, you recognize this giant? And he says, yes, his armor bears the markings of that master planet ravager Terminus. And as Quasar's getting blasted, he's like, what else do you know? And he says then he feels like a jerk for getting taken by surprise. He managed to leech off some of the energy to bolster his energy field, but it still blew to the edge of Earth's atmosphere. And again, he's mad because they blew another hole in the ozone layer.
Yeah.
Environmentalist Winnie.
Yeah. Environmentalist Vaughn. He has to make sure he can't use that joystick of his again. They gotta disarm him. So he, just like with the living laser, he's gonna try to
lock on and drain the energy.
Yep, but he says blasting's not working. Apparently, I can't leech the energy unless he's using it, and that's the last thing I want him to do. It's like, now what? So he's like, time to call for help. That's what. So he calls the Avengers, and Peggy Carter picks up, and she says, Peggy, I ran into something big. Can you get a hold of Thor for me? And he's thinking to himself, I can't think of who else could survive a encounter with Terminus. And then he's also got Eon on the other line. He says, any more info? And he says, give me a few more minutes to glean some data.
And look at what he's doing here. He's like, okay, giant alien monster. Hey, maybe I need some help. Maybe I'll call in some help. You'd think if the Punisher's going to fight Dr. Doom, he might go, hey, maybe I should call the Fantastic Four. We kind of live in the same city, right?
Yeah, but I mean, the Punisher's different than Quasar. I mean, odds are, if Punisher calls in Captain America's probably going to try to arrest the Punisher too. Yeah.
But or hey, I'm fighting a big alien. How about I call the X-Men or the Defenders or the Silver Surfer or whoever? It's just they always do it on their own.
Yeah. Yes, but so then Peggy gets back to him and says, Quasar, I'm having no luck raising Thor. Will Captain America do?
Afraid not.
No, even Grunwald, Captain America's big fan, wrote it, so he's like, no, I don't think so.
Yeah.
But so then Quasar sends out a signal. He has breath. I know who might. So he sends out a big Spider-Man need help. And that's when Eon gets back to him. He says, I've gathered all the salient facts about Terminus for you. He first came to Earth while you were off in space. Footnote, Fantastic Four 269.
Yes, another editor's footnote. I love them.
John Byrne issue.
Yep.
He landed in the Southwest and wreaked havoc. His plan to rip apart your planet for energy was thwarted, however, when Reed Richards of the Fantastic Four attached an experimental device to Terminus's armor, a device which caused him to quake violently and then plunge straight down into Earth's molten core. The damage and heat did not faze the Devastator. Separated from his power lance, he spent the next few months crawling his way back to the surface. When he had a few more miles to go, he happened upon an immense subterranean laboratory facility built by the sister race to mankind known as the Deviants, and the current workshop of Jor-O the weapons maker. And yada yada. He made Jor-O make a copy of his armor and sent Jor-O in the armor to the Savage Land and wrecked the machinery that keeps it a jungle. So it froze over. It was there that Jor-O was defeated by your colleagues, the Avengers, back in Avengers 257.
Another editor's note. Yes.
Jor-O having perished, Terminus directed yet another being to animate his armor. Then Stand-In also met defeat, but not without providing Terminus with more rough data. That must have been the X-Men annual, I bet.
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
And I don't know where Eon gets this, but Quasar was like, what's he doing now? And Eon said, Reed Richards was the first being to outwit him in untold millennia. He apparently intends to make Richards his herald. How does he know that?
He knows everything. He's omniscient.
I guess. I mean, I'd be more like... be more likely Terminus wants to step on Reed Richards. And that's when Spider-Man
maybe
swings
Terminus... Maybe Terminus posts one of those Stan soapboxes, plans for the upcoming months.
I'd love to see those soapbox that can hold Terminus.
Yeah. No kidding.
Okay, Cue Ball, this had better be good. Spider-Man swinging in. He's like, believe me, Spider-Man, it is. And after a brief explanation, Spider-Man's like, wait a minute, 150-foot space aliens are way out of my league.
Not
Quasar's
now.
Like, and Quasar throws his words back in his face. He's like, you told me you're the strongest man in the world now. So he bubbles them up and says, if you have any friends or relatives in the New York area, sir, I strongly suggest. And Spider-Man's like, all right, I'm in. How do we get there? Quasar takes off, says, hold your breath, and takes him into the river again. And Spider-Man's like, why are we underwater? He's like, guess you can't hear me. Guess we're sneaking up on Terminus. And then 15 minutes later, under Terminus's... So I guess Terminus is like walking on water?
Yeah. He's really powerful.
Jesus complex. So Quasar's like, see those shadowy shapes up there, Spider-Man? Those are Terminus's feet. And Spider-Man's like, say what? And he takes a closer look and says, yep, that does appear to be a big guy with 10-league boots. I'm surprised, but I'm like, why was Spider-Man surprised at the size of Terminus's feet? Quasar told him he was 150 feet tall.
I don't think he believed him.
I guess.
Are you smoking something out of those bands, man?
He's like, I fought Goliath a couple months back. I'll buy 50 or 60 feet, but not 150.
Yeah.
So he says, what's the plan, Mr. Cosmic? And he's like, I want you to help me haul his butt in outer space. What? And Quasar starts making the platform. He says, I can create the energy platform to lift him, but I don't have the strength to lift him at terminal velocity. Ooh, terminal velocity?
Cool.
He's like, well, that's where you come in. He's like, me? Fly in the space? Like, yeah, dummy, not Hulk in orbit. You may be Earth's only hope. Don't lay that on me. It's like, take a deep breath and let's haul some mass. See,
I love that.
Yes,
let's haul some mass.
First thing you said, you got on here. You're like, let's haul some mass. But I mean, Quasar could have like cut the argument in half if he would have been like, Spider-Man, great power,
great responsibility.
Fill in the blank.
Yeah.
So Spider-Man's thinking, here goes everything, and they start lifting Terminus. And finally, Terminus speaks and says, what goes on here?
Mm-hmm.
And he starts trying to shift his weight and step off the platform, so Quasar is extending it. And Terminus, with his villain monologue, insolence, insignificant specks, you dare trifle with the chief ravager of worlds. And Galactus is like, hey.
And, holy sheep dip, that's awesome.
Oh, the language in this issue. He almost vaporized me. Quasar says, keep pushing, Spider-Man, like he's a woman in labor.
Yeah. Minutes later. Wow.
And Spider-Man's like, he's like, look how high up I am. It's been years since I went up into space, and never before on my own steam. And Quasar says, Spider-Man, we're almost at the, how do you pronounce that? The Roche limit?
I think it's the Roche limit. Yeah.
The point at which an object will no longer fall back to Earth. Thank you, Mr. Grunwald.
Mm-hmm. Always learning.
Yes. ROCHE, Roche limit. And so they give it a big push. The platform comes apart. Terminus is like sailing through space. And okay, here's another thing that, I don't know, kind of weird to me. He says, Quasar says, nice going. You sent him flying out of the plane of the solar system. You head back down. I'm going to make sure Terminus can't double back. As Spider-Man's making like a hang glider, I guess, to go.
Yeah,
Spider-Man flew up there under his own power. Why does he need a hang glider?
Because it looks cool, man.
I guess. But would a hang glider even work at that? I mean, I guess he's using his power to push him till he gets back in the atmosphere, but I don't know. I mean, come on. Grunwald knew about like Roche limit, but you didn't know a hang glider is not going to work in orbit. So, yes, not quite as flashy an exit for Spider-Man as last episode.
That's right, yes.
So he kind of hang lines back to Earth. And Quasar's like, oh, and thanks. So Terminus is flailing, and Quasar decides to try try to like blow up his lance, but it's impervious. So he says, "What else can I try?" So he grabs onto the business end of this thing and tries the quantum drum. He says, "I've never tried to move anything this massive through subspace. I have no idea what will happen. Here goes." And it looks painful.
Yeah.
I forget, we'll get there too, but in the Avengers issue, did they say something like the point Quasar is trying to like jump the lance through the quantum jump with the lance? Was that the point when that Nebula was like making the universe disappear or whatever?
I don't know.
Because I didn't get that here, but I swear I thought they said that in the Avengers issue. Some Avengers issue, and I was like, really?
We'll get to those.
I mean, unless he really didn't realize what it was because he was trying to quantum jump with this huge lance. But so he comes out with part of the lance. He says, "I hope that's enough." He's like, "What's that planet down there, Neptune?" And he's like, "I didn't intend to emerge near a planetary body. The extra mass must have thrown me off." So it's probably what? Is he within spitting distance of his old friend Uranus?
Yeah.
I'm surprised Death Urge didn't come back. Like, you tried the quantum jump. What? You do have a death wish. So he quantum jumps back. Terminus is flailing out of control. And Quasar says, with any luck, he's helpless with a broken weapon. And this will be the last Earth ever sees of the World Ravager. Somehow, I wouldn't count on it.
Yep, he doubts it. I wonder if Terminus has appeared since. I'm going to look that up right now.
Well, he appeared at what? Wasn't it like an Avengers annual? Was that after this?
I don't remember. Terminus.
Oh yeah, wait, wasn't that the year after the Atlantis attacks we covered?
Oh yeah, there was a 4-parter, the Terminus something.
Yeah, wasn't it? I know it was Avengers, West Coast Avengers. Was it? It might have ran through
Terminus Factor.
I think.
Yeah, the Terminus Factor. Yeah.
Yes. That was, I think you're right. I think that was not too long after this. Quasar's even on the cover of one of them. I think Simonson even drew it. Maybe it was Avengers?
Maybe, yeah, I think so.
All right, Terminus. Okay. Let's see. Avengers 256, 257, X-Men Annual, behind the scenes, X-Men Annual, Thor, flashback, Quasar number 7. Yep, exactly. Thor Annual 15, Avengers West Coast Annual 5, Avengers Annual 19. So 1, 2, 3. Yep. 1, 2, 3. I thought there were 4. Oh, maybe he didn't show up until the second issue, I guess, of the crossover. But yeah, Uncanny X-Men second series number 9. I guess MT, maybe Marvel Team Up number 9. So yeah, I guess he's shown up after this. So cool. He was in JLA Avengers number 1, which is awesome.
Of course he's coming back. He's the chief ravager of worlds.
Exactly. Looking for a herald.
It's on his resume.
Yeah.
He probably has a business card that says that, you know.
It's a good thing Peggy didn't send Captain America over. He'd probably be like, Quasar, easiest thing, just let him take Reed Richards.
Yeah, it's done. Yeah.
Can solve a lot of my problems. Just let him take Reed Richards.
Absolutely.
See him try to boss around Terminus.
Yeah.
But yeah, I remember. I mean, I love this. I liked this issue a lot when I first read it. I mean, I still do, but because I was enjoying the Spider-Man stuff at the time, and I was like, "Ooh, Quasar and Spider-Man." Although I'm like that Marvel team up we reviewed last issue. I liked it because we got a nice mix of Spider-Man and Quasar. But this issue, I'm glad we got a lot of Quasar. But Spider-Man seemed almost like a plot device.
Yeah, I think so.
I mean, it seems like they just introduced him at the beginning just so like Quasar would have that help at the end.
Exactly, someone to lift him out of orbit. Yeah. Yep. Yeah. Well, you know,
Spider-Man had a lot going on at the time too, and it's good to get a little rub, especially for a single-digit book. Get a little Spidey appearance in there.
That's right. It's kind of obligatory. I mean, it has to happen, right? It's one of those things.
Yeah.
Because it's gonna be a little while before we get the obligatory Ghost Rider and Punisher appearances.
That's right. So let me ask you guys this. Paul Ryan set the tone of the book and the look of the book for those first 6 issues. This, to me, feels a lot different because Manley's a different artist. He's a different kind of artist, I think. He's a little bit, I don't want to say flashier, but he's more stylized than Paul Ryan. Paul Ryan's a good, solid artist, right? And you know, he's not flashy. He tells a good, solid story. I think Manley's a little bit flashier, and I don't know. I think I may have enjoyed this a little bit more than some of the earlier issues.
I did like it. I mean, it didn't seem like his style is different than Paul Ryan, but for some reason it didn't seem like that big of a departure for me. Like the Greg Capullo stuff is what really caught my eye. That is like really different. I love Greg Capullo's art, but it just that's the one that caught my eye. I was like, wow, this is different. Good, but different. But yeah, I love this panel when Quasar's standing outside, talking to Eon in the subspace. And
then the splash of Terminus stepping over the ship. That's just freaking awesome. Let me see if I can find that real quick.
Yeah.
Page 15, yes.
There we go, yep. And here it is in the trade paperback. Right here.
Because just the scale of it, I mean, some artists can make that look silly. Yeah, that doesn't,
But that looks, and the armor looks kind of cool too. I mean, I think it was a cool page. So, yeah.
Yes, again, that armor could look silly. It's like a giant armor with like a big bubble. It's like looks like a giant 50-foot Mysterio almost.
Yeah, big bubble on his head. Yeah.
Yes.
A fishbowl. Sorry, they call it a fishbowl, don't they? Yeah.
Fishbowl. Yes.
Yeah.
We'll see what Jake Gyllenhaal does with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess we will, won't we?
Yes.
So can I add a little addendum about the Roche limit, because I remember reading a few issues later in
there was a correction.
Telegrams.
Yeah, wasn't there a correction to that?
There was two different people that not only did they kind of call it out, but they did research involving encyclopedias. Because this is pre-internet, so it's like
right.
Let me just read some of it, because it's a long letter. But
this is pre-internet. This is pre-internet. You had to have facts back then.
Yes, right. Exactly.
Yeah. So it says, from Theodore Miller of Howard Beach, New York. I won't read his address because he could still live there. Page 22, Quasar says, I can create an energy platform under his big feet enough to lift him, but I don't have the strength to lift it up at terminal velocity. Terminal velocity is the speed at which the air resistance against a falling object balances the gravitational pull on that object, so the object doesn't speed up or slow down. Just continues falling at that velocity.
He meant escape velocity.
Terminal velocity would be, it would be totally irrelevant for lifting something upward. And then he gets real heavy in the Roche limit. The footnote says the point at which an object will no longer fall back to Earth. That is extremely wrong. There is no point at which an object would not fall back. Gravity decreases with distance, but never goes to zero. And an object starting motionless a billion miles from Earth would still fall back eventually if there was no other gravity sources around it. What does exist is a specific escape velocity for any specific distance from the Earth. An object moving upward at this speed or greater will be slowed by gravity, but gravity will decrease with distance as well, and the object will never completely stop and fall back. And then like 4 more paragraphs. But,
you were wrong, Mr. Grunwald.
Yeah, he starts talking about the moon in orbit and gravity decreasing with distance and force pulling the moon apart and tidal force. It's pretty impressive.
I'm glad this person did their homework, but I'm like, okay, you buy Eon, you buy the Pocket of Subspace, you buy Quantum Bands, but
you're not going to let Science Fact go by.
Yeah, but then the best is the last 2 paragraphs. He's like, also in Amazing Spider-Man 329, the one character who should know about gravity, Gravitron, is also spouting nonsense.
Grunwald's like, I didn't write that issue!
Yeah. Nice. And then he says, P.S. I have a master's degree in physics. Wait till the PhDs get after you. And then it happens again.
And then he signed off.
Bazinga. Bazinga.
Yeah.
Bazinga.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm looking up the Roche. I'm going to go to my encyclopedia called
Lord.
The Internet and look at the Roche limit.
Lord.
All right.
The closest distance from the center of a planet that a satellite can approach without being pulled apart by the planet's gravitational field. So that has to do with the moon and the tidal forces that he mentioned in his letter. Okay.
Yeah.
So if the moon as soon as the moon hit that point, it would be torn apart by the Earth's gravity, I guess. That's my understanding of it.
Yeah.
Well, cool.
I would make the joke about being caught between the moon and New York City, but Matt did that many episodes ago.
That's true.
Yeah.
Nice.
See the Supernova Saga.
Yep.
Yes. Yeah. So, and also, Paul Ryan went to Avengers and Avengers West Coast after he left Quasar.
Yeah, he was doing 2 books a month for a while there. That's right. Yeah. It's incredible.
Yeah.
So both Avengers books. He did Fantastic Four.
And then he did Ravage 2099
at
some point.
I know he did Superman in like the late 90s.
Yep. So, and unfortunately, he passed away. So it's like 5 years ago, I think, 5 or 10 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Again, I would like to speak with Mark Grunwald's family.
Yes, I'm still working on that. So
cool. All right. So, any final thoughts on this?
Thought we got a little more cosmic action, which was good. Getting off Earth.
I mean, we're ramping up a little more. We keep getting more cosmic. I mean, you start with like the Angler, then you work your way up to like a Quantum, then you get a Absorbing Man who's touched the quantum bands,
Living Laser in the Watcher,
and Red Ghost on the Moon. Yeah. Now we're at 50-foot giant space aliens.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I guess he can mark that one off his list. He better tell his dad for the logbook, right?
Just ask Eon.
Yeah, he'll know.
But anyway, we'll get to Quasar 8 in about almost 2 months because coming up next, the next 7 weeks, we're going to be doing the 6-part Project Pegasus series for Marvel 2 and 1.
Mm-hmm. Awesome.
It's clobbering time, and then after that, we're going to do the Marvel Team Up annual. I think was it annual 5?
Yep.
So it's Quasar, the Thing, Spider-Man's back again. The Thing, Spider-Man, Quasar, Scarlet Witch, and I think Doctor Strange is in there too.
Doctor Strange.
Yes.
Because Doctor Strange drives in a car with Spider-Man for a long road trip.
Yes.
Oh my god! I had totally forgotten that.
That's a bigger size issue too.
Ooh. It is. It's long.
Is there a Marvel 2-in-1 annual? Is that story a 2-parter, or is it just in the Marvel Team Up?
I think it's just in that one. I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
I mean,
I think it's self-contained.
Yeah,
I'm thinking of the Thanos story. That's what I'm
maybe because I was gonna say I don't have a Marvel 2-in-1 annual when that Marvel Team Up annual seemed pretty self-contained.
Yeah.
Ben Grimm, another guy who's like, I don't want to team up with strangers. Well, you do it every month.
Every month. For 100 issues, he did that for 100 months.
Yes.
Yeah. But he can only get his own book to last 26 issues? Come on.
No guest star. Not as many guest stars.
Yeah. True. But I thought this was a good guest appearance, Spider-Man. And I know you kind of said it was a little formulaic, but it was cool, and it's one of the only interactions with another hero that Spidey had with the cosmic costumes.
It's a good, solid superhero story. But even Grunwald's always thinking, because he has Quasar behave kind of like a normal person would. I can't fight a 150-foot alien by myself. Thor, please come in, Thor.
Again, when does Thor think about picking up the phone?
Yeah, exactly. And who does he butt dial? Sorry.
Do you think that Peggy Carter was giving him the runaround because he initially said no to her when she asked for help last time? I don't know.
Could be.
How about some Captain America?
Yeah.
Thor could have eaten a sandwich right next to her.
Yeah. That's when he turns the screen around. Peg, I don't think you're doing much this time.
Yeah.
Oh, you're talking about Terminus's appearances after this. I think he showed up in an issue of Captain America. It was a Grunwald issue. It was it like 417 or something like that? I believe Cap and Diamondback were in the Savage Land, and the Falcon, they were in Savage Land, and Terminus, or at least someone driving the armor. It might not have been Terminus. It might have just been someone driving the armor, I think. So see, Captain America can fight Terminus. Oh, he might not have. Like I said, I think it was someone driving the armor, and I don't think he had the staff either. So.
Yeah, because that armor was still there.
Yeah.
Leftover. The armor was just left there because this is the real Terminus armor, right?
Yes. So yeah, someone driving the fake armor.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, next episode, if you're following along, Marvel 2-in-1, issue 53, the first part of Project Pegasus.
Yeah, and it's weird because you would have them. I had this kind of weird experience with Project Pegasus Saga because I only learned about it reading in the official handbook of the Marvel Universe, and reading about it in letter columns, and or the Project Pegasus Saga. So it was built up pretty heavily before I ever got to read it, and it's good. It's I don't know if it's the best thing ever, but it's a good story.
I mean, for its time, again, this was early. Was it early 80s?
Early 80s or late 70s. I'm not sure which.
Yeah, it might have been it might have been 79 or 80, I think. Yeah. Mm-hmm. But we'll also, in that story, we'll see an early appearance of Wondar, who becomes the Aquarian.
Yep.
We talked about a couple episodes back, and was it Black Goliath, who
yes,
I believe Lawrence Fishburne is going to be portraying that character in some form in Ant-Man and the Wasp.
Which, when is that coming out? Is that this week?
This weekend, yes.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah.
That looks really, really good.
Oh, yeah. And they said that, I don't know, there's something shocking, or I don't know if they're going to be something pointing to the next Avengers movie or Captain Marvel.
Yeah, I think it relates in some way to the events of what happened at the end of Infinity War.
Well, I think what we're hoping for when they're going into the quantum realm.
Yes. Hint, Marvel.
I mean, fine, bring on Captain Marvel, but come on, give us some Quasar.
Yeah, I mean, the universe is big enough for the both of them.
Or even like Guardians of the Galaxy, because I thought someone was saying James Gunn. They thought James Gunn was like teasing people with like a Quasar ref. Oh, it was like an old VCR and it was like a Quasar band or something.
All right, 53 of Marvel 2-in-1. That was cover dated July of 1979.
Ooh,
yes, Quasar on the cover with the Thing. At last, the saga of Project Pegasus.
Oh yeah.
It's going to be fun.
So yes, the next 6 weeks, the Project Pegasus saga, followed by the Marvel Team Up Annual 5, and then after that, 3 issues of Quasar in a row.
Sweet. 8, 9, and 10.
Yeah, I was going to say we're getting there.
Yeah.
We're closing in on Journeys into Mystery, which is awesome.
But yeah, after these next couple weeks, we'll be done with flashbacks for a while because it'll be like Quasars and Avengers issues.
Mm-hmm. Cool.
Just either Quasar or Avengers issues until we get into Infinity Gauntlet.
Oh, yes. I'm going to say something that's probably going to get us hate mail, but I'm going to say it. Cosmos and Collision is better than Infinity Gauntlet.
That's
I'm putting it out there.
That's at Wallred on Twitter, people.
I'm putting it out there right now. It's better.
Send your picture to at Wallred. You know what? Show him who's boss and buy up all his copies of Diary of Night.
There you go. Yeah, you can
show him who's boss.
Even with me.
All right, are we done here?
I think so.
All right, everyone, join us next week for Marvel 2-in-1 53, Part 1 of Project Pegasus, and email us your thoughts on this issue, Quasar 7, or the stuff that's upcoming, capesandlunatics@gmail.com, facebook.com/QuantumZonePod, @QuantumZonePod on Twitter, and @CL Sidekicks on Twitter. And Will, where can people find you? And if they want to get even with you and buy all your books, where can they get a hold of that?
I'm at Wallred on Twitter. You can get in touch with me through willallred.com, ALLRED, diaryofnight.com, Facebook, lots of places. So yeah, wallread@gmail.com. So, yeah, I'm pretty easy to get a hold of. And if you'd like to debate the merits of Cosmos and Collision vis-a-vis the Infinity Gauntlet, send me some mail.
And Matt Kona, where can people write to you if people want to send letters to our letters page?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what you guys?
I'll just give the addresses out.
You guys are really just diverting all the hate mail off to me, right? Is that what we're doing here?
Essentially.
You're the one bad mouthing Infinity Gauntlet.
I didn't say it was bad. I just said Cosmos and Collision is better.
Yeah.
I agree with you.
Yeah, we'll stand united. I got your back, Will.
All right, awesome, guys. I'm giving you virtual fist bumps. There we go.
Cosmos and Collision is great.
It is.
Well, hopefully we'll get some more traffic, but you can't get any of the issues on the Marvel app, so you got to dig into the bins. So hopefully people start doing that. You can find me on the same less places than Will. Facebook.com/MattKonaStandup, MattKonaStandup@gmail.com. Write that review. Send me back to the post office. Everybody write them this week, and I'll start shipping stuff out. And yeah, go pick up some old issues and read along with us. Catch up.
That's right. So leave us a review for the Capes and Lunatics Sidekicks podcast. Say, hey, Quantum Zone is great. Marvel, give these guys a new Quasar book.
Yes, please. And thank you.
Oh my good Lord, how awesome would that be? Not only get paid, but get paid the right Quasar.
Yes, that's like a dream come true.
Yes. All right. So until next time, this has been the Quantum Zone, episode 17. Marvel, we're right here. Yes, we know. Yes, we know. We have some big shoes to fill.
Nice.
10 league boots. See, I'm so competitive. I'm just like, Matt throws out the puns every week, and I'm like, I must have more puns.
Yep, we're hauling mass, right? Hauling mass.
Hauling mass to the roach limit. No, that's scientifically inaccurate.
I need to reread that letters column now. I totally want to reread that.
It's in issue 12. Enjoy.
Okay, awesome.
So from me, from Will, from Letter Page Matt, this is Phil. This has been the Quantum Zone, episode 17. Remember, Quantum Zoners, keep it quantum.